I want to do a video series that is going to just be basically looking into the CIA and the FBI. And when I was a little girl, I always wanted to be in the CIA or the FBI and save the world. But over the past year, with everything that has played out the way it has, and especially most recently with this fraudulent voting, it's led me into wanting to do some YouTube videos and presenting things that I have found over this past year as I've researched some of the corruption I believe is going on. I want to start presenting that to the public and putting information out there that maybe someone else can use that would help expose some of this corruption. That being said, I'm going to jump right into John Brennan. I'm not, and in these episodes, I am not accusing anyone of anything or uh, any of that nature. I'm basically giving you my opinion on the potentials of things that maybe should be looked at or looked into or thought about. And that's all this is. So, John Brennan was a former CIA officer who served under Barack Obama and George Bush and actually had ties to the Clintons. As you can see, he was hand in hand with Hillary on the whole Russian collusion, which we know was based on falsification and corruption as well. Um, Another thing here with John Brennan that I found on this Wikipedia article is that in 2005 he became the CEO of the Analysis Corporation, and the Analysis Corporation is basically intelligence solutions and defense technology. It says that it's now renamed as Sotera Defense Solutions and TAC. So this is going to be interesting maybe in my next video when I talk about those ties. But I just want to show some of the ties here through the Analysis Corporation and this Sotera Defense. So when you go to the Analysis Corporation, and I'll pull it up here in my other browser, when you go to the Analysis Corporation, on this here, you see, I'll go right directly from there, okay, so that everybody can see it. We go to the Analysis Corporation. We see Global Strategies Group. So I took this and I went to the Global Strategies Group. And here we have the Global Strategies Group. So I kind of looked through the Global Strategies Group and scrolled through it. Actually, you can see a lot of the interesting information tying together. Border security, risk consultant, currency exchange, um, aviation securities. I mean, you can see everything that they're into here. So I just found that that was interesting. And remember, this is ties to John Brennan. But yes, the person who founded Global Strategies Group was this man, Damien Pearl. So I looked up Damien Pearl and I found this guy, which was in Brennan's private sector, who John Brennan is the CEO here of this guy. And as you can see, his private sector has a Chinese connection. This is important again because we're going to go to this Damien guy from all of this information here, and you can see this website that is Jamison website. So it's attached to, back again, the global group, because that's the CEO of John Brennan. Remember, we showed you that. And you can see how it's attached to Jamison. So we're going to go to that website. So now we're at Jamison. We can see a lot of the same information, but we see powering a new generation. I'm not exactly sure. That's interesting. Deep tech. A lot of these keywords are very important right now. as things are playing out. Clean tech, another important agenda the Democracy Party wants to push right now is green energy, electric cars. So this is, again, the Global Strategies Group, which took us to this Damazian company. And now we're going to go look at one of the news articles here. The China Technical Challenge. And I encourage you to read through this article. It's very interesting. The article itself is incredibly intelligent and interesting in itself. But as you read through it, you might glean a bit of what's transpiring as well, with the big tech corporations censoring us, with them hating Trump, with them not wanting him to come in and break up their one world monopoly that they're trying to push here, and wanting or either China, U.S. Based, completely, in technology together is what these people are trying to push, more or less, in my opinion. So this is the article. Here is the URL right here, so you can type that in your browser and go check it out. You can read the whole article. It's very long, but great information. I mean, incredible if you want to know more about what you feel like is happening and playing in our world. But at the very last paragraph, you can see spin on triangle with the government. And high-tech ventures and the government's role is not, so this is interesting, the government's role is not to take control of private sector technology, but instead to facilitate its access. To me, whenever I read this, it meant that they are not in favor of our government being able to tell the private sectors that they cannot censor whoever they want. And now that has created, as you can see, in our censorship with our high techs, because, they're not liking what Trump's doing, so they're going to control the situation. It's just, it's mind-boggling what's been going on. And my example here with the people that are involved is John Brennan, which leads to this, Damazian company, which leads to ties with, when I looked up this guy, like I showed you in China, but I also, when I looked up the Global Group and things of that nature, look at these guys. This is who was writing that article possibly. I mean, and then you've got all these connections. Now, I want to go back to the analysis group where it was talking about how it was renamed this Sotera Defense Solutions. And when I looked up Sotera Defense Solutions, it took me here. Sotera Defense Solutions was actually sold, I guess, or KW Corp bought Sotera Defense Solutions. So I went to KW Corp. I found their webpage here. And you can see that they're wholly a subsidiary of Jacobs. So this rabbit hole keeps going. And then you go to Jacobs and you can see their company. They're green technology again. Cybersecurity, they talk a little bit about that. And cyber attacks, like I just showed you there. And then we have the CEO here, who is Steve Dimitri. So we're going to go over here and look up him. And you can see in some of his talks with Bloomberg and rules of deal making, I was like, what's this guy all about? Because Bloomberg, they don't like Trump at all. And so we'll go look at his LinkedIn profile. And he's also, again, he's got talks about government. He's got on Bloomberg, he's on CSNBC, these news stations that hate Trump. And he's also talking about, green energy and electric cars. So there's ties in with all of these people. And I don't know, this was from me looking at John Brennan and who all his ties are. Obviously, there is some fishy stuff going on because they talk a lot about China. A lot, I mean, the damn it, you can see that um, he was CEO of this, and then it led me to the Damazian group, and that was talking a lot about China and how they're gonna basically, and high tech. So this all leads into interesting paths and takes you down with, turns and twists and a labyrinth, basically, of these people that you just start to think, what are they up to and what's really going on? So you guys look into it for yourself. I'm going to keep putting information out there and keep bringing things to attention that I feel is important for the general public to know. If you like this video, that's great. You can like it, or, you can also not like it. But I hope you found something informational, and I will try to put more of the pieces to the puzzle together, as well as the next video I plan to do will be looking at Christopher Wray, our FBI director, and I can definitely show you some stuff that he's done as well.